In this video, I'm going to solve this problem in Excel. I'm going to first show you that Excel doesn't always produce Lagrange multipliers. And if you're not careful, it could also produce the wrong signs on the Lagrange multipliers. So let's do it. So here's a problem that we had. We want to maximize this function. Over here, I've given the values. Remember that A, B, C have to be all positive. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 10, and C is equal to 5. If you now look at the spreadsheet, here we have. So here's a function right here. So here's your A, B, and C. And here's the problem right here in A, B, C's with those parameters. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 10, and C is equal to 5. We want to, let's start with case quote unquote B, where C1 has to be 2 and C2 has to be 4. So you can see that if you were to work out the unconstrained solution, that would be equal to B over 2A. And you can see B over 2A is 5. So in case B, what's happening is here's 5, and you're making C1 2 and C2 4. So obviously the solution is going to be x is equal to 4, and then this will be your y star constraint. Let's see how to do this now. So I will bring up solver. I'm going to reset everything. And now let's start by putting the objective, which is y. The decision variable is x. Now most people, and here's where Excel will not produce Lagrange multipliers, most people would put the constraint on x. Well, why wouldn't they? Because they know that x must be bigger than or equal to C1, which is right there. They also know that x must be less than or equal to C2, which is right there. I will uncheck make unconstrained variables non-negative. I solve it, and I ask for the sensitivity report. And if I look at the sensitivity report, you will see there are no constraints whatsoever. It doesn't recognize that you had constraints, and there are no Lagrange multipliers. Okay. What about perhaps a different technique? Perhaps what we can do is we remind ourselves that the constraint was maybe, so what's happening is when you put constraints in Excel, if your constraint has to be in the form gx, some function of x either being less than, let's say, C2, or some function of x being bigger than C1. If you put x, the decision variable, Excel doesn't think it's a function of x. So therefore what you have to do is you have to fool it. So if you want to say x is bigger than C1, then why not put x over here and C1 over there? So what I'll do is I will take my mouse. Actually, since I have my pen ready, I'll do this, and I'll put a new x here, and I'll put a C2 here. So what I mean by this is you have to simply make a new value for x right here that's equal to the actual value of x. Your C1 is equal to, perhaps I should have been more to the right, but time is of the essence. And then this x is equal to, the actual x, which is 4. And then the C2 is equal to 4. Okay. If you like, you can change the initial value to something else so you can see what's happening. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to solver. I'll reset everything. And what I'll do is, once again, our objective is to maximize y by choosing x, subject to the constraints that x right there, must be bigger than or equal to that c1 right there. Okay. And then this x must be less than or equal to c2 over there. I uncheck this, solve, and ask the sensitivity report. And this time, you get something, right? Okay. It seems to be of the right value because you will notice in the model, I give you what happens in the case B. So lambda 1 was supposed to be 0, lambda 2 is equal to 2, and that's exactly what you see over there. Let's try a different scenario. Let's try case C. So in case C, you have this function. The maximum happens at 5, but you'll notice that C1 is 6 and C2 is 10. So given this picture, surprise, surprise, the value of x is going to be 6. That's going to be a y star constraint. Let's try to solve this one now. So I'm going to change this to 6, and I'm going to change that to 10. Let's try one more time. Let's go to data, solver. I change nothing. I solve it, sensitivity report, and then you will notice in the third one, you get -2 and 0. And the question is that the right one? Oh, sorry, I should have changed it over here for my little table to work here. I should have said 6 and 10. And you can see the answers are lambda 1 should be 2 and lambda 2 should be 0. Is that what you have over here? Actually, you don't. So you actually have the opposite sign. According to Excel, this is your lambda 1, which is wrong because the actual lambda 1 is 2. And then notice you get these weird looking labels. So I've demonstrated to you that there are times that it doesn't produce any Lagrange multipliers. It is possible for the Lagrange multipliers to have the opposite sign, and you can also get these weirdo labels. So how do you rectify the problem? The way you do so is by remembering that your constraints were x is less than or equal to c1. X is bigger than or equal to c1. And so what you really want to say is minus x is less than or equal to minus c1. If you put the constraint that way, you'll be okay. So in this cell, you have minus x. In that cell, you have minus c1. And then you also remember that x is less than or equal to c2. So since it's already in the form less than or equal to, you have to make another x. That's equal to, of course, the actual x. And then this is your c2. So let's go back and then solve this particular case, which is of case where c1 is 6 and c2 is 10. And now let's see what happens. I'll demonstrate this once, and then I'll turn to the sensitivity reports that I've already saved up for you. So let's delete this constraint. Let's delete that constraint. This time I want to say that minus x is less than or equal to minus c1. I also want to say that x is less than or equal to C2. I'll say OK. I solve, and I ask the sensitivity report, and this time you'll notice that the sensitivity report gives you the right Lagrange multiplier. Right? It now gives you lambda 1, which is the correct sign. So what I've done for you already is I've run behind the scenes. Here's the case B, and you can see that doing it this way gives you the right Lagrange multipliers. So you have 0 and 2 for lambda 1 and lambda 2. That's exactly what you see over there. Notice that the way I've done this one here, it's since Excel does not tell you what C1 is, since Excel doesn't tell you what C2 is over here, it's always a good idea to tell the reader which constraint you're working with. So the way I've done this is you put the constraints this way. So it'll be, you put the label here, right here, and if you use the control tilde command, you can see that I've used concatenate, which means you should look at this formula. So what I've done is I've actually taken minus x less than or equal to, and I have clicked on minus C1. So it tells you that this is the label that's going to show up in the sensitivity report. This is the value, and so that's exactly what you see over here. You get a nice looking report. It tells you in the case of case B, minus x was supposed to be minus 2. See that it looks nice, and of course what it means by this is the value of minus x, and that's the value of x, and those are lambda 1s and lambda 2s. So if you do it this way, then you'll get nice looking reports, and you can check for yourself that in fact the sensitivity report for C are also giving the right values. 2 and 0, 2 and 0. And then for case D, you're supposed to get 0, 0. And that's exactly what you see here, 0, 0. And then for your benefit, you should go back to that handwritten solution, and you will notice that the change in y star due to change in C1, C2 are also correct. So I hope that helps. Thank you.